What's up, you guys? Welcome to my channel and to the very first episode of Unpopular Opinions. Super psyched. Today's unpopular opinion is all about management. I'm going to take it to the board, write it down. All right. Managers should not manage. This is today's unpopular opinion. This is a super big one for me when it comes to business management, leadership. I think that a lot of times this is probably an unpopular opinion where people would once they hear it, would start to agree with it. Like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. Absolutely. And so I think, in theory, and when you kind of hear about it and think about it, it can kind of make sense to you. But in practice, this becomes extremely difficult if you challenge this, because I think so quickly people find themselves falling back into that or really reinforcing the opposite of what this. Manager's job is to manage. So let's look at that for a minute. We've got our dictionary. Managing. Handle, control, to direct or carry on business or affairs, to make and keep compliant. I did not stutter. I did not misspeak. Make and keep compliant. Are you kidding me? To make and keep compliant? This is like everything that's wrong with management, I think, is because so often, whether they would admit it or not, this is people's opinion of management. It's their job to control. It's their job to manage. I need to micromanage. I need to make sure everyone's doing the right thing. My job as a manager is to make my employees better. And the way that I do that is by finding out what they're bad at and then just making that better, right? Which is just ridiculous when you think about it. Now, I've been in management for many years. I have done this well, and I have done this poorly. When I was young, I sought management. And one of the big reasons is it meant more money, it meant more power, more control. Now, I wouldn't have necessarily said my job's to make and keep compliant, but my behaviors definitely led to that conclusion when I look back at those times. It wasn't until I really kind of had a huge change just in myself, went through a lot of different stuff, switched up careers, things like that, and really found myself challenging a lot of those beliefs, those philosophies that I had. But this was one of the biggest ones. And what it was a shift through kind of digging in and studying. And I read a book called First Break All the Rules. I swear by this book, you guys. If you are looking for a leadership book, a development book, a management book, whatever it might be, this is incredible. Now Discover Your Strengths is another one. This one here. Strength Finders, killer. My top strengths: competition, belief, achiever, activator, and strategic. When it comes to leadership management, when you're putting people in a position, if they spend 85% of their time doing what they're naturally good at, they are going to love their jobs because they're going to kill it, right? It's game over. 85% of the time doing what you're naturally good at. Think of that right now. Whether you like it publicly or not, we all have that sense, seek that sense of accomplishment. Whether it's internal, whether it's external, we all want to be someone, to do well. And so you're naturally good at something. So imagine if I said, I've got a job for you, and 85% of the time it's going to be what you're naturally good at. So seriously, I look at people's strengths, I get them in roles where they're doing those strengths, and I look at their weaknesses and try to avoid them. Now, you are going to have to do things you're not naturally good at. I truly believe there's going to be some things you're not going to enjoy. But if the majority of the time you're doing what you're naturally good at, man, you're going to love your job and you're going to work harder and accomplish more. I truly believe that. The way I view management, the way I view leadership, is my job is to create a culture, to create an environment of trust, of compassion, a sense of belonging, to where the people feel empowered and needed, and have freedom to explore and create, and catering the role to the person instead of catering the person to the role. If you're able to make this shift, and it takes some time, obviously, and sometimes you're gonna have some challenging situations with it to where people exploit you, but I really think that what I've found in the relationships that I've established, in the people that I've developed, when I made this shift, man, things changed. It was a game changer. All right, so that's a wrap. That's the first episode of Unpopular Opinions. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it stirs up some conversation, and look forward to sharing my next unpopular opinion with you next week.